Okay, so 16 purchases under or around $100 that have improved my life. These are all really practical purchases that have made my life a little easier and a little smoother. Starting with number one, which is my attachable phone stand. I have this on my phone right now. I actually saw this first from Victoria Paris, of all people, on TikTok. Someone was like, how do you film your content? Do you use a tripod, carry it around with you? And she was like, no, I use this attachable phone stand. You stick it on the back of your phone case, and whenever you want, you can just pull this out. I don't think that this is just good for content creators, otherwise I wouldn't include it in this video. Anyone who wants to take more photos or more little candid videos of their days, this just makes it so easy. I've taken so many more photos and videos because of this thing. You can get this on Amazon. I honestly think it's under $15, but it doesn't stick to silicone phone cases, so keep that in mind. Number two, laser underarm hair removal and laser bikini hair removal. Depending on where you go, this can cost under $10 per time, but you do need to go back for 5 to 10 sessions. Please grow your hair out. Don't grow your hair out. Do whatever you want to do. For me, I've been brainwashed into feeling more comfortable with no hair. So I got bikini and underarm hair removal. Life-changing. So much less thinking, so much less maintenance. I do still need to go do a few more sessions for my underarms, but it's made a huge difference. I do think it helps if you're pale like me and you have dark hair, but I would recommend this to anyone. Loved it, would do it again. This is actually a purchase that I was really unsure about because I wasn't sure whether it would work and whether it was effective. I remember Googling a lot and being like, does laser hair removal really work? It does. I do think it helps that I am pale and I have dark hair. If the difference between your skin color and your hair isn't that different, it might not work as well for you, but for me, it's been so worth it. It's worked so well, and it has actually been ongoing. Someone told me that laser hair removal isn't permanent. You're always gonna have to go back. I haven't found that to be the case. I do need to go back a few more times for my underarms, but I reckon after that, I should be good to go. My bikini, I got it all done like over a year ago now, has never come back, but you never know. A flat charger for my AirPods. I love my AirPods. I use them all the time, but I would always let my AirPods die and I'd be so annoyed having to charge them again just to use them. Then I got one of those little flat chargers. I don't know actually what they're called, from Apple. And I know it doesn't seem like much difference plugging your AirPods into a charger versus just placing your AirPods onto this flat charger, but it really does make a difference in terms of how often I charge my AirPods. And since there's like a little home for my AirPods to live, it's so much easier to just return my little AirPods case to the flat charger. I would use this for my phone, but I have this front door storage for all of my stuff to leave the house more quickly. If you watched my video earlier in the year or end of last year about designing my space for my goals for my 2023, I decided in 2023 I need to get out and about more. I'm in my house way too much as someone who works from home. One of my blocks for that was that leaving the house always felt like an ordeal. If I wanted to go to the beach, it was like getting so much stuff together. If I wanted to work at the park, I had to go find this, that, and the other, and everything was in different places. So I set my front entryway up so that it was filled with all of the stuff that I could possibly need to leave the house quickly. We got a basket for all of the towels. I made sure to put all of the right bags at the front door. I've got my hats there, I've got my bikinis there, I've even got my socks there. Honestly, one of the best decisions that I could have made. I feel like me and my partner have gone to the beach so much more just because everything's right there and it feels so easy to just grab our towels, grab our swimmers and go. Before this, like quite a while ago, we actually had nothing in that entryway and it's really like slowly built itself up over time to be such a good and useful spot that makes leaving the house so much easier. We also got this little shoe holder that has all of the shoes that we could possibly need to leave the house from Kmart. That was under $40. I don't know that everything that is in our entryway would be under $100, but I think that you could replicate it for under $100 for sure. It's just about making everything easy and accessible right before your front door. Next, I've got two car things. One is a little strap barrier situation that sits in between both of the two front car seats. All this does is it makes it easier for you to just chuck your bag right next to you. So if I have someone in the passenger seat, I can just chuck my bag right there and it's gonna stay rather than falling off. My mom actually got me this for Christmas and I was like, I don't know if I'm actually gonna use this. I use it all the time and it's from Amazon. It's pretty cheap. In addition to that, a little car bin for keeping your car a little more tidy. So easy. Just put it on the back of your passenger seat so that you can reach over and chuck any rubbish that you have in the bin. Probably wouldn't do this with food stuff, obviously, but with papers and things like that, just keeps your car clean and it's low effort. A beach bag, a remote work bag, an everywhere bag. So this kind of goes along with what I was talking about before with the entryway. I set it up so that it was just easy to get out of the house, and one thing that I did when I set it up was made sure that I had 3 sort of assigned bags. I had my beach bag, or it could be my picnic bag, same. I finally got a bag that was specifically good for going out and doing remote work. I can slip my little laptop in there and it's got padding in there to protect my laptop, making it so easy for me to just go work at a cafe. And then I've just got my little everything bag that if I want, I can just chuck in my other bags. I know this sounds so small, but sometimes it's just about removing those tiny decisions about what to take to leave the house. And having set bags for set things makes it so much easier for my little mind. Plus having a bag that specifically was made to chuck a laptop in it, so good. And definitely under $100. Related to that, these little bag checklists. So I got these little plastic things from Officeworks. I attached them to my bags with strings. I need to externalize my memory. Otherwise things get forgotten. I get frustrated and it's just so easy to do. Like, why not do it? So I think I just have two checklists. One is for if I'm going on a picnic. Another is for if I'm going to the beach. And I actually already had these checklists sort of in my Notion, which is good, but a lot of the time then I just wouldn't look at them. So instead, printing them out, putting them into these little like $5 sachet things, attaching them to my bag so that I couldn't miss them. And it's so easy to just look over them, read through them, be like, okay, yep, got this, got that. Such a worthwhile sort of spur of the moment effort. Would recommend. Long chargers. I feel like this could be used for good things and it could be used for bad things, so do with it what you will. But my life has changed since I got longer chargers. Before I got long chargers, I had those really short ones, and using my phone while charging my phone was always so annoying. Same with using my iPad and charging my iPad. Since I've gotten long chargers, I actually cannot look back. I don't think I'd ever buy a normal size charger. I get, I think, the 2-meter ones, and I think you can get 1.5-meter ones and 2-meter ones, and they're only around $30 in Australia, so in the US they're probably cheaper. Period underwear. This is an environment thing. It's kind of a convenience thing, and it's also great for days where maybe you don't need a tampon, but you still need something. So I tried using Diva cups before because I was like, that's the environmental option. I hated using Diva cups. They always leaked. I know that means that I was probably doing something wrong, but it was just too much for me. I think I've been using period underwear for maybe a year now. It's great. I use Moddy Body. I also got some Kmart period underwear and they really weren't bad at all. Like, they were pretty great, really. So try that if you don't want to go all out. Overall though, I think this is a really personal choice. Totally understand if it's not your vibe, but I would recommend it. A bottle of sunscreen for your car door. I actually copied this idea from my partner who had been doing it for forever, and when I saw that he had it in his car, I was like, why don't I have that? Sometimes I forget to put on sunscreen, like on my arms, on my shoulders, but since I put a big bottle of sunscreen in my car door right next to the driver's seat, when I'm at the lights, I can just pump out some sunscreen and chuck it on. Obviously sunscreen takes about 20 minutes to actually start working, so this isn't going to protect you from the sun while you're driving, but maybe you're headed somewhere and you forgot to put sunscreen on. Having sunscreen just sitting there in your car door makes sure this is not a problem. I don't know when I became a sunscreen person, but I really am a sunscreen person. I'm very pro sunscreen and I try to wear it whenever I go out. Protecting yourself from cancer, especially in Australia, I think this is extra important. Also, while we're here, reminder, do your skin cancer checks. My little green summer robe. So this actual robe itself isn't under $100. I got it for my birthday, but you definitely could find something similar for under $100. Before this, the only kind of robe that I've had is like a big fluffy winter robe, which I love. In winter, I live in my winter robe or my hoodie, but I've never really had a summer alternative. Now that I have a summer alternative though, I actually live in this thing in the mornings. First thing in the morning, I will put on my little summer robe. Not only is it cozy, comfy, and cute, it also means that I'm more likely to get out of the house so I can get some sunshine on my face, sit in my courtyard, do a little meditation without having to like properly get dressed. I think I saw something on TikTok about having a robe for every occasion, and I really took that and ran with it. This is my first addition to my robe collection, and it's just made life a little easier and nicer of the morning. The Mermade Waver. The price of this in Australia can range from like $90 to $110. If you're in the US, it's probably cheaper, although I don't know if it's an Australian brand, so I'm not sure. I also am someone who is very lazy when it comes to my hair, and you might have noticed this in my videos. Like, I don't enjoy putting effort and time into making my hair look nice. But I've recently found an alternative hair tool that is so easy that even I can be bothered to do it. Plus it just looks so cute. So I use the smaller version, and this is what it makes my hair look like, and it's so easy to just go through, clamp down on your hair, kind of just like a crimper, hold it for 5 seconds, keep on going. So if you're looking for a way to make your hair look a little cute, a little different, but you're a low effort gal like me, you don't want to have like a lot going on, Mermade Waver. I haven't tried the bigger waver, but I'm sure it's good too. Next is the Day One app. This is probably about $35 a year all up. So look, over time, it might be more than $100 if you're still using it in like 4 years time. But as far as initial costs go, it's definitely lower than 100, and it's well worth it. If you're someone who wants to document your days more, you want to do some audio journaling, or you want to do journaling in a safe space that you never have to worry about whether someone else is going to find it, the Day One app is great. At this stage, I probably use the Day One app nearly every single day. I did used to use Obsidian, which was good as a free alternative if you're not into Day One, but I really like using Day One because it's got the audio transcription, so you can talk into your phone and then it'll give you word by word a little transcription of it. Plus you can add photos really easily, so if you want to take photos of your your day, document it, put it in day one, you can do that. And you can create a bunch of different sections for different things. So if you want to have a problem solving section to your journal, or a healing section to your journal, or a documenting section to your journal, you can do that. A cork yoga mat. So in my room, I have a big cork yoga mat that is lying out on the floor. Cork yoga mats are generally more eco-friendly, which we love, are biodegradable, they are really easy to clean. Apparently they are naturally antimicrobial, which means that they resist germs and odors, which is really important if you sweat a lot or if you do any kind of hot yoga. I would be getting a cork yoga mat. It also doesn't absorb dust. I actually didn't expect myself to like my cork yoga mat as much as I did. I kind of just got it because I knew it was eco-friendly, but then knowing all of the other benefits about how easy it is to clean, doesn't get dusty, etc., made it an even better purchase. Next are these large smoothie containers. A lot of big water bottles are not dishwasher friendly. Most of these big smoothie containers are. The dishwasher friendly water bottles that you can get are usually quite expensive as well. But if you're someone who wants to drink a lot more water in your days, having these big smoothie containers and using them as your water containers instead of tiny piddly glasses filled with water, well worth it. I rarely drink water out of anything except for these big smoothie cups. Obviously you could have a water bottle. Most water bottles aren't actually dishwasher friendly. And for me, having dishwasher friendly stuff is really important. I really prioritize convenience. I hate having to hand wash things if I can avoid it. Which is why I would recommend having a bunch of these smoothie containers that you can use to fill up with water because they're so big, you naturally are just going to drink so much more water, especially if you get into the habit of filling them up first thing in the morning. Now that I'm talking about that, I'm very thirsty. This is also one of those things where they talk about portion control. You know how they say that if you have bigger plates, you naturally eat more because you fill up the plates more and then you feel obligated to eat it? I feel like it's the exact same when it comes to drinking water. If I have a water bottle or a smoothie container there that's full to the brim, I'm just gonna naturally drink more. Whereas if I have a tiny little glass sitting next to me, I'll finish the glass and be like, sweet, good to go. And I won't think to refill it. Those are all my favorite purchases under $100 right now. Personally, I love hearing recommendations for little purchases like these that make your life easier. So if you have any of your own, please do feel free to chuck them down in the comments. This also isn't the first video I've made like this. So if you're looking for more recommendations along these lines, I'm gonna put that video on the screen as well as down below. I appreciate you so much and I will see you soon.